Today's episode is brought to you by the new movie, The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Nobody is ready for the mayhem and surprises that ensue when 6 of the town's worst youngsters disrupt the yearly Christmas performance. Starring Judah Greer, Pete Holmes, directed by Dallas Jenkins, and is out everywhere November 8th. Go to bestchristmaspgeantever.movie for more information and stick around for the rest of this episode. Hey everybody, welcome to Don't Make Me Come Back There. We are a funny podcast about family. My name is Dustin Nickerson. I'm a stand-up comedian and the host of the aforementioned podcast. And alongside me in our state-of-the-art recording studio in downtown La Mesa, California, is my lovely wife, my co-host, my CFO, overall great gal, Melissa Nickerson.
Hey there. Dustin, you're a little muffled.
Oh, you know what?
It's about time.
Bite me. As well as producer Andy Lara. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this special Halloween edition. For those of you who do not have kids that are interested or were kids that are interested in these particular costumes, I am, of course, Freddie Fazbear from Five Nights at Freddy. Mm-hmm. And alongside me is Kim.
Hi.
Who is the pizzeria
kind of spokeswoman. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you do the training videos in the movie.
Yep. I'm here to train the new recruits.
Exactly, yeah. She works in the pizzeria, and it's a haunted pizzeria, and it's a whole thing. The movie's great. I think we did a Bingo Dingo review on it.
We did. We loved it. It came out about a year ago.
And, it's, I'm actually filled with the spirit of a dead child.
That's right. Mm-hmm. I think the best way that FNAF can be described as a baby's first horror movie, right?
If you're looking to introduce your children into the concept of horror movies,
we got a show for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it started with a video game series and had a big kind of cult classic following. So, anyways, anyway, this is our special Halloween edition. Thank you. I don't think I'm as expressive as I normally am. I have very limited neck rotations.
Yep.
But, from what I can see in here, Mel, you got us looking pretty spooky.
Thank you. Your ear is hitting my lights, and, we're going to just have to play this one by ear.
Well.
Watch out!
The giant reveal, everybody. Here it is.
You want some help?
Nope. I don't need your help, Kim.
All right.
And now, suddenly, it's it's that disappointment that you feel on the Las Vegas Strip or Times Square.
When your favorite character...
When you see who Minnie really is.
Takes off their heads.
A 50-year-old man.
Oh my gosh, you have like a red line on your forehead from that costume.
Oh yeah, well, because I got to wear this thing here. This is to help keep that...
chin strap.
So, hopefully that clears up.
I think that looks good on that table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
Costumes are a lot of work. And, yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is we farmed some answers from you guys, some emails, some comments. We're here to talk about Halloween, All Hallows Eve, Harvest Festival Day, Reformation Day, whatever you celebrate, however you celebrate it. If you're in Australia or another country that doesn't celebrate it at all. I'm sorry. This is actually one of our better exported holidays.
Happy October 31st.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you guys, I don't know if you guys have the same months as us. I don't know if metric system uses different months, but I think they might be. I think it might be.
They have a different calendar.
I think
calendar.
I think it might be the 31st of Celsius there.
It's probably November 1st there.
In Celsius, yes.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We got a lot of stuff to get to. Mel posed the question to a lot of you. I'm going to take the gloves off so I can use my laptop. Mel posed the question to you guys. What is it?
I said...
Is it Halloween until? Or without?
Without.
We're talking
Halloween.
Without blank.
Without blank. We've got to talk about some costumes, some Halloween pet peeves. Tis the season. Spooky season ends tomorrow, really.
It is kind of weird how the whole month of October you're building up to Halloween, and then once it's Halloween, it's over.
Aren't all holidays kind of like that?
Well,
I mean, Christmas
I disagree
lingers a
because
little more.
Christmas is the 25th, and then some people celebrate Christmas late. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Thanksgiving kind of food rolls over for like a couple weeks. Feels like you're kind of still enjoying it that way. It does feel like a bit of a hard stop after the 31st.
Well, I would say it's really kind of October is the start of gaining season.
Yeah. It's time to buy some new pants.
Back on those pounds. Every year for Christmas, I give myself 20 new pounds.
That's a lot.
It is. Well, yeah. But anyways, we got lots to get to, everybody. Before we do, let's do. Sorry, I know I just took off a Halloween mask. I definitely got up at 3 a.m. this morning. Mel couldn't sleep till about 1 or 2. She tagged me out, and then I was up. It's like we had babies. It's like we had, except I didn't get up a lot when we had babies. Sorry, I did my best.
Yeah,
I didn't have what that.
Okay.
I didn't have what that baby was looking for.
Yeah, you didn't. It's fine.
Still don't. More so now than I did then.
Well, we don't have babies anymore.
No.
So I'm not mad about it. It's fine. It's fine. I'm fine.
I'm gonna put my costume back on.
No, we're not sleeping well.
We're not sleeping well.
That is neither here nor there.
It's spooky. We're all having nightmares. It's spooky season. How can you sleep during spooky
I've
season?
been haunted by Freddy Fazbear. That's the problem.
We got a Patreon
anyway.
Zoom coming up. If you're not familiar with Patreon, it's a way you can give a little more to the pod and all things Dustin Nickerson comedy and get a little more. We had a couple meet and greets at the shows in Salt Lake, which we're going to do a little weekend recap in a little bit here, which were fun and great. I appreciate you guys coming out to those.
Patrons get behind the scenes content. They get the annual Nickerson family Christmas card, discounts on merch. It's super fun. We love our patrons. And then we also have our Facebook fan page, and that is a lot of fun too. We're doing a giveaway right now because we've had that fan page for a year, and we have almost 600 members.
Dang, girl.
Yeah.
Dang. Check it out. Dustin Nickerson comedy fans. I didn't know what else to call it.
It's great. And yeah, that's it, right?
I think that's it.
Recap. Let's get
into it.
Yeah.
Thanks for everybody who came out to the Salt Lake shows. Big in Utah. It's one of my better markets. So thanks for coming out. A lot of people asking where Mel is.
Mel was in the car.
Mel was in the car.
In San Diego. Yes.
Are you ready to talk about your Saturday yet or no?
Yeah, I am. I'm just going to keep it brief.
Okay.
Yeah. I forgot we didn't do dates. Do you want to do dates?
We'll do them eventually.
Okay.
Oxnard this weekend.
Great.
Bakersfield Friday.
Fantastic.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the only dates I'm doing.
Perfect.
I don't got the energy right now.
I don't either.
You guys follow a podcast with a couple parents, which means sometimes they're going to get their 8 hours of sleep combined. That's what we got. And so we're going to be lagging certain days. But you know what? We got it. We put on our costumes and we went to work. Because that's what you do as a parent.
I actually was going to bring candy. I was
what?
I know.
What?
I was like, we don't need it.
Oh, I so need it.
But I didn't bring it.
Why would you even mention that you were going to bring it?
Because I was going to.
But why mention that you were going to?
Sorry.
I'm going to go 3 stops down to that liquor store and get one of those big ball things they have. Have you seen those? They're like booze balls.
Yeah. There's just a variety of like Fireball and 99 bananas.
Sugar.
And like
looks awful.
It's like
looks like the worst thing I've ever
Hawaiian
seen.
Punch.
Yeah, it's like a college pinata filler.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's got some beers in there.
They're like, what's in here? This ball is just like, and they're like, it's just pina colada. I'm like, I don't think so, man. It looks like a buoy.
Bowling ball.
Maybe that'll stop you from scraping your boat on the dock. Hang that over the side.
Booze ball.
I don't remember what they're called. There's something like that. If it wasn't called booze ball, it should be.
It's a good name. I don't know.
You been playing the booze ball? Sorry, isn't the mom and not grandma's boy.
That's Billy.
The football one.
Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Yeah.
You've been playing the foosball.
The foosball.
Kathy Bateman. Anyways.
Okay, so you were in Salt Lake. People are asking where I was.
Yeah, but you tell me.
I was in San Diego.
Should I give my review of my weekend first or yours?
It doesn't matter.
It's a funny contrast.
Yeah, go ahead. You start.
I was, it was the day after my birthday. It was Salt Lake. Great. Steve Rogers middled, which was doing me a huge favor. Steve is not an opener. If he's an opener, he's an opener at a theater.
All the way from New York.
Brian Regan, it's
Yeah.
actually a pretty easy trip. New York to Salt Lake is a straight shot, but still nice.
But yeah.
And he opens for Regan and Tom Papa a bunch, and Nate as well. So Steve was out there. It was great. I had someone recommend Loki coffee to me, and there was in the guy in the meet and greet line, and he knows we like coffee recommendations. It was fantastic. It was a little far away, but it was the perfect mile and a half walk there and back. So gotta get your steps in. Gotta get your steps in at our age.
Not too cold in Salt Lake yet?
No, it was borderline. It was getting there, but we had a very funny moment. I was like, low key, and he's like, no, low key. And he was like, I could tell he was getting into the Avenger thing. I go, oh, like the God of Mischief. And I was like, I immediately regret saying that. I should have I'd have been like, Thor's brother. And you're like, I don't give him the God of Mischief title. Oh, from the movies, right? Yeah, I've heard of Loki. Loki, God of Mischief, brother of Thor, adopted son of Odin. Of course. But it was great. But it was a very comic-y weekend because there were, Steve opened for me. There was a lot of shows in Salt Lake, and we went to Gaffigan had a 5 p.m. show, so we went to Gaffigan show, and again,
a theater you've played with Taylor.
The Eccles Theater, and it was great. And Ted Alexandro was the opener, and he's very funny. And I'd never seen Ted live. I'd only seen Gaffigan do 10, 15-minute spots at Gotham when I'm in New York and stuff, like workout spots.
Saw him at the Hollywood Bowl.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I've seen him at the fair.
Yeah.
With Ted.
I've never seen him do an hour.
With my kids. Yeah, that was fun. A couple years ago.
He's a machine.
Yeah.
We talked to him for a little bit in the green room, and I looked at his writing pads and notes. He was an absolute machine. Yeah. I mean, this guy's got 10 hours of material and counting, I think.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So, yeah.
Let me just help you here.
Oh, thank you. Whew, thank you. A little embarrassing.
Costume.
Middle age hits even Freddie.
Yep.
And no one, as you said, no one feels great about how their midsection looks when they're sitting down.
No, it's not.
So.
That's why this vest's doing me a lot of favor.
Yes. Are you going to get into a vest era?
Yeah, just this red vest.
Yeah.
Every week.
Great.
Uh-huh.
Well, it's versatile. You can work at Target. You can be 80s, 90s.
Olive Garden.
Yes.
TGI Fridays.
Fridays. I was going to say 80s, 90s flight attendant. Because they had...
It's very versatile.
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could be in a show choir.
Ooh, maybe handbells.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. Yep.
It's very that kind of silly formal. That kind of look. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because you would also be doing concessions at a clown show, at a circus.
Well,
you know what I mean?
At AMC, you wore a red vest.
I did wear. We did wear vests in my very first job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was sure at a circus.
Yeah. There he goes. Yeah. It's good. Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Check me into my hotel at Circus. You know.
I love her satin red vest.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Maybe the most versatile of all.
Pop a color.
Yeah. Kids' night at the Italian restaurant.
Yeah. I'm trying to think would you ever see something like that in church back in the day? Would people wear that to
No. This is a little formal.
A little formal?
Yeah. This is
it screams like show choir to me. It really, yeah.
Also a high school dance.
Yeah.
Sometimes the formal one,
Yeah.
you get the vest.
Yeah.
With the coat.
And all that jazz.
Jazz hands.
Yeah. What if Vest just came back like that? What if Vest had a total moment?
barbershop quartet, maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, they got the striped vest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you are
Disney
like
employee,
I was gonna say
Disney
you are
cast member.
you're like a lower level cast member. Not one of like the big one. You're not like Gaston, what people get all excited about. He goes viral every time I'm on TikTok. I see.
Trumpet player in a ska band.
Yeah. You definitely belong. That you look like you should be in the Rose Bowl parade.
That's what it is. The walk aside to make sure kids aren't running out.
They're like, we need you to walk next to this event.
Yeah.
Here's your vest.
Yeah. Some type of cone, some type of barrier. Very, like if you stood up, people are like, there's an announcement of some type. You know?
I'm an attendant.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Vest is kind of it's a good accessory. It's
Yeah.
a good thing.
You start seeing this once a month from Mel on this pod. Just going to work it out with different outfits. In this one as well.
Well, in the 90s, like women, I don't know about men, but women wore a lot of vests.
Yeah?
Yeah. Like the teacher vests were huge.
Yeah, it's very 90s art teacher.
It's kind of like
kindergarten teacher.
Ties for men, like vests were just brought the outfit together.
I'm thinking like cool, like R&B artists, men wore it with no shirt under it. Like a leather vest.
No, I mean women.
Tyrese for sure.
Yeah. That vests were worn differently for men in the 90s.
Women's fashion, like vests, are having a moment. Like,
are they?
Like a black vest, a tan vest, just the vest.
So,
like suits separate.
Recapping the last 2 weeks: vests,
yes,
hats,
yes.
the color brown.
I keep finding brown, and I am telling you, chocolate brown is back. This is Mel's fashion report.
Chocolate brown's back.
You heard it here first.
Where are we seeing chocolate brown in women's fashion right now?
Like burgundy and chocolate brown are all over sweaters, bags, belts. Belts are really back.
Ooh.
And then like shoes.
Yeah.
It's back.
Where did it go?
Well, we had chocolate brown in our wedding 20 years ago. And our accent color was pink.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I say okay like I don't remember. All right. Yeah.
And then...
Yeah, I was wearing a pink tie.
And then, like, 4-ish years later, chocolate brown and light blue, like Martha Stewart blue, like, were everywhere.
Yeah.
That combo took off way more than brown and pink.
Yeah.
But I was happy to usher in
Mel's fashion report. Chocolate brown.
Yes.
Took 20 years, but you were that ahead. Well, in Salt Lake, we saw Gaffigan.
Back to Halloween.
I got us off. Yeah, we saw Gaffigan. It was great. And then, so Wise Guys Comedy Club in Salt Lake has multiple clubs in the area. And at the Jordan's Landing one, I was at the downtown one, Jeffrey Osmus, who is a comic who I've met like once, but I follow online. He came by and hung out with his opener, and we hung out after the show with him and Steve, and that was great. And then the next day at the airport, I ran into Andrew Schultz in the Delta Lounge, and it was so funny because I'm like, I middled for Schultz like 8 years ago at Zany's in Nashville. It was an interesting weekend. So he was at the level now where he was only doing just the late shows. So he wasn't even doing a full weekend, which is crazy because he's doing like Madison Square Garden, not at the Trump rally.
Arenas.
His own show, his own. And he... so it's crazy to think because that wasn't that long ago. And I was like, I don't even know if he knows who I am or remembers me. And then he kind of caught eyes with me and we did the thing. And he was like, Dustin. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So we talked for a little bit. And he's like, I gotta go. And I sat for a little bit, had my banana. And as I was leaving, I ran into Brian Simpson, who I started with. And he's in Austin now. And he told me about his whole debacle travel weekend. But it was great. It was very comic-y. weekend.
All the comics were out.
We're always in airports. It's like I've ran into so many. I love running into comics. I mean, in the last, I ran into Angela Johnson. I called Greg Warren the other day about something about doing his podcast and having us ours. And I'm like, "Where are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm at the Atlanta airport." I'm like, "Dude, I'm at the Atlanta airport." And he's like, "I did a corporate last night." I was like, "I did a corporate last night in Atlanta."
Sure you did. Yep.
So we did not hook up because he was too far away. Because that's what it's like at the Atlanta airport. But
airport's huge.
So it was great. Low-key Coffee's very good. All the comics were fun and good to see. All the shows are great. I love Salt Lake. I'll keep coming back as long as you do. We have some... I can't wait to post some of those clips because there are some very, very funny moments of things that happen.
Well, and it was Halloween weekend.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the weekend when you would go out or go to a party or dress up.
And thankfully I sold well enough that I didn't have any of those people at my show. I just had,
no costumes. No costumes.
One
at
or
your
two.
show. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Enough that I think they felt weird that they were wearing them.
Well, I think even some comedy shows have like a Sunday comic costume.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen.
But you didn't do Sunday.
If I'm doing a Saturday late show and I'm not selling tickets and it's a comped room, it's going to be a lot of costumes in there.
Yeah.
You're welcome to wear one, but anyways, Low-key Coffee was great. Comics are great. Salt Lake's great. Steve's great. All good stuff. You had a great Saturday yourself.
No, I might have had my worst Saturday in history. So
all those people say hi and that coffee was great, though.
That's good. Yeah. Am I allowed to go now?
Tell me about your Saturday.
Well, after months of planning, I dropped a kid off at a rehearsal and I started driving to Mount Sac for a
gigantic
very
invitational
prestigious cross-country race that happens every year. About an hour 10 into my drive, I got a call that our kid had thrown up. And I had to turn around and pull over and go back and pick her up. And then I spent the rest of the day driving our daughters around to various locations and crying about missing my senior son's cross-country race. Yeah. But I did get to watch it online, which worked out.
Yeah.
Because they had some great cameras up.
Yeah.
Because it's such a big invite. 500 schools that they would do that, but
it would have been really cool to be there. It seems like it was a really great setup.
I feel like it would have been much better being there, and as the original plan was. So anyway, it worked out, but
no, it didn't. It didn't work out at all.
It didn't work out at all.
It was a disaster, and it's super sad and tragic that it worked out that way. Yeah,
despite me not being there.
Yeah.
So yeah,
sucks.
They went up Friday morning. They do a whole thing, walk the course, spend the night, go to dinner. And because it was our daughter's first rehearsal for this new production, she didn't want to miss it. I didn't want her to miss it. So I was just going to drive up the day.
And we don't even fully know why she was sick.
Yeah, you didn't want her to have the stomach flu. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Takes out the whole family, possibly. But she wasn't sick.
No.
So
this is kind of, I used to do a bit about this, about sending home early when we were kids. You would have to puke a second time. Yeah. And because you're like, one's you feel it out,
Well, and it happened immediately. Well, 45 minutes into the rehearsal. She looked pale, she threw up, and then she looked fine.
Yeah.
You know how you can look at a kid and go oh, you're going to puke again.
Yeah.
And sometimes you look at a kid and you're like, I think you just needed to puke, huh?
Yeah.
You're back.
Well, Nickerson kids look pretty pale almost at all times. So that's not even necessarily always that helpful.
And she forgot her water in the car. So, sometimes
little anxiety, little first nerves thing.
Yep.
No, it sucks. I felt terrible. I was, in Utah. I was like, it's the hardest part about this job, the traveling on the weekends. And you're just like, I feel helpless. I feel terrible of everything that's happening to you. It's not about how I feel in the moment, but you're just like, it's the moment. It's the line from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, when he misses the thing and
The
Dale's
Thanksgiving.
he's like, those are moments. You don't get those back.
The Thanksgiving assembly or the performance.
Yeah. You don't get those back.
I'm thankful for my parents.
My dad's going to be home for Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
I mean, we're playing with fire this year, traveling on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're playing with a lot of fire. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm so sorry that happened, but I think that's a good segue into our Christmas movie ad. Cue it up there, Andy. Hey, Mel, bonus bingo dingo. How about for the best Christmas pageant ever?
It's a super fun movie.
So fun.
Yes.
You knew the story. You knew the play?
Yeah, our daughter was in this pageant.
I should have known it too.
It's not a pageant, but it's called The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. It's a book. It's a play. It was super fun.
Basic idea, right? You get your church annual Christmas performance, super important, especially in like a small town type setting, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
it's pretty traditional. They don't switch it up.
Exactly. It's very important. Mm-hmm. But suddenly, the bad kids, quote unquote, the bad kids, they
find their way into the cast.
Yeah.
Yep. They bully their way in.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And they want to be in it. They want to be in church because there's donuts, and churches, who doesn't want donuts? So they're there, and, hilarity
ensues.
And disaster and mayhem ensue.
And I will say, Judy Greer and Pete Holmes, amazing.
Very good.
The children are really good actors.
Really, really good. It's a lot of fun.
Sometimes the kids aren't. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really sweet. It's really fun. You can bring everyone in your household.
Yeah. It's from Kingdom Story, Lionsgate. It's directed by Dallas Jenkins. Judy Greer, Pete Holmes, so funny in it. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. You're going to be sitting around with a family, the kids, the grandparents. Hey, we all got to watch something. Well, this is the something for you to watch, all right? It is out November 8th with some early access and showtimes on National Cinema Day, which is November 2nd. So for more information, go to bestchristmaspageantever.movie. That's bestchristmaspageantever.movie.
5 out of 5 bingo dingoes.
5 out of 5 bingo dingoes. Check it out, everybody. Let's talk a little bit more about Halloween. What are there's a new thing this year, boo baskets. What are these boo baskets? I don't know about these boo baskets.
So they are Easter baskets, but for Halloween.
So they're satanic instead of Jesus driven.
So no little grass.
Yeah.
But you fill it with little gifts and candy. And I'll be honest, I was like, we're not doing this.
Yeah.
It's already too commercialized.
It's not about Jesus.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
Nobody needs any more sugar.
Yeah.
But we made a boo basket for one of my daughter's friends, classmates, because she was making one for her. Mm-hmm. And then I made one for a friend who's like going through a lot, and it's just like a care basket.
Right.
Which is basically like, hey, I was at the store and I thought of you. Mm-hmm. And when you put it in a little basket, it's cute.
Right. That's nice.
Yeah. So it's
how many of these are we supposed to give out?
It's a Halloween Easter basket. Now, I don't. It's a little tricky because you're like, do we have to reciprocate?
Yeah.
But I was like, no boo baskets. I will not. But then I built 2, and I was like, this is kind of fun.
You like baskets.
Kind of find a theme.
Mel likes assembling a little thing.
Well, I like struggle with gifts. Like it's not.
I like
my
the sampler
specialty.
basket that you got me this year with the kids. Like, we're all kind of grazing. Like, there's a bunch of random things that we can all eat together. Because, I do like bringing home random snacks and stuff and sharing them. Like, let's try this thing.
I guess I'm kind of big on, like, consumable gifts. Yeah. Because, like, then you don't have to, like, get a shelf to put them on or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, but it's not stuff that you would just buy every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, Claire's friend is really into makeup and she's kind of a girly girl. And Claire wrote a card and it was like, I didn't get you that much makeup because you're already beautiful. Like, I like your vibe. Like,
Yeah.
it was like very sweet 5th graders exchanging a little gift.
I like it. That's really sweet.
So it was very sweet.
So this is a good way to get into this.
Yeah.
Let's bring this up. We'll give you a topic. Is it a pet peeve of yours or not? Halloween pet peeves.
Yes.
Because these are ones that people have or don't have, you know.
it's
So
like hot takes.
yeah,
rants.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Boo Basket's not a pet peeve of yours
It was a pet peeve until I made one.
until you made a basket.
And then I was like, this is sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
I like a little basket.
Yeah.
What about limiting candy to one piece? When people say like, "Hey, you
Just
take
pick
only one
one.
piece. Just pick one."
Yeah. I get it if you live on a street that just gets so many
Yeah.
trick-or-treaters. Also,
Why don't you just distribute the candy?
that's true.
Yeah.
I guess it takes longer if you let the kid pick their one piece. 'Cause
Yeah.
They're like, you know, and then the parents are like, hurry up, someone's
Yeah.
behind you, you know.
You don't like a house being not open on Halloween, even though our house is not open on Halloween. But
We usually put a bowl of candy out. We
Yeah.
just don't have
the cats and the raccoons.
we just don't have that part of the neighborhood that everyone comes to. No,
That's a
I
raccoon
get it.
grabbing a piece of little Reese's.
My point with like the Halloween neighborhoods when you turn your lights off and don't give out candy
Yeah.
is like you knew this when you bought this house. Like
You live in Halloween Town, man.
just start stocking up. I mean,
Yeah.
But if you don't want to, then I'll just be a little huffy as we walk by your house. And then I will get over it because, you know, I'll get over it.
Little Huffy is so funny.
I guess it's to me, it's like you had one job.
Yeah.
Like buy candy.
You live in this neighborhood.
It's
on.
like just, I don't know.
'Tis the season. You know?
It's in the contract.
You moved into a Halloween neighborhood,
We
man.
are a Halloween neighborhood.
Yeah, well,
Put your light on.
yeah.
Buy candy.
Well, and in these areas, they're
Enjoy
like,
these amazing trick-or-treaters.
yeah.
You
Well,
know.
that's one. Do you have any other Halloween pet peeves? I have one. I have a few.
I have a lot. The obscure costume that you have to explain all night. Now that we have phones, you're like, I'm this.
Yeah.
And it's a pet peeve both ways because one, you're like, just Google it, you'll figure out who I am.
Yeah.
Or you're like, that's too abstract, nobody knows who that is.
Right.
You know, like I was the Midge, the pregnant Barbie.
Yeah. But
From
you carried a
Halloween.
Midge sign for that
But I
reason.
carried a Midge sign in the Barbie font.
Yeah.
And so thankfully that was enough.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I just think it's funny. Like
it's a choice.
When we were younger, you worked at the rec center with a bunch of younger employees
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
than us. They were like early 20s. We were like late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But we went as Juno.
Yeah.
The 2 stars from Juno, and I was pregnant with our third.
Yeah.
So
perfect pregnant
Michael,
costume.
Sarah, all this, and all of those employees had never seen Juno.
Yeah.
And if we had like smartphones, we would have been like, Juno.
This movie. Look this up.
Look, we are that movie
Yeah.
cover. But it was lost on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes people they wear the costume just for the post. Like they get in the costume and then that people online will get it, but nobody in person will get it.
You're like, my online friends understand.
Yeah, you're like, they'll understand this reference. Will they? I'm a popular internet meme. Okay, well, that's probably not going to play in the neighborhood.
I'm the send it guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought you were
No.
white trash.
I'm the Rizzler. All right.
I do think you're right. There are costumes that are internet costumes.
Yeah, 100%.
And then there's like, my 70-year-old neighbor is going to know who I am.
What are you? All right.
I'm Richard Nixon.
Duh. Obviously. Well, that's one of my pet peeves. One of my biggest Halloween pet peeves is when parents force their children into an obscure costume
Yeah.
that you can tell the kid isn't into.
You can see it in their face.
You can see it in their face. They're like, hey, yeah, no, I'm really excited to be Vincent van Gogh.
I chose to wrap this this dressing around my ear.
You know how much kids love Fred Astaire? He's Dale Earnhardt. Oh, kids love Dale Earnhardt. They remember.
They wanted to be Lightning McQueen.
He died 10 years before that child was born, so it's an important impact on their life.
I think one of the hardest parts about Halloween with little kids is you like get to the night, it starts to get dark.
Yeah.
You're like, time to put on your costume. Eat something really fast. Get ready. And then they're like, no way. No way am I putting that on. I will not put that costume on. I know I picked it out, but I don't like it anymore. It's itchy.
I want to be a pumpkin.
It's tight. I refuse.
Yeah. Parenting pro tip. Always have a couple backup costumes laying around from previous years.
Save them.
Yeah. Have a football jersey, if nothing else.
Because I do think costumes are terribly uncomfortable.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And they're like the cheapest made things imaginable. All the seams are like...
Speak for yourself. I'm thriving right now in this.
I was going to say.
Wigs are the worst.
Yeah.
Because kids, they're like, yeah, I want the pink hair. And then they're like, no, I can't.
And then you put on a wig.
They wear it for 5 seconds. Maybe you get a photo. Yeah, maybe. So... yeah.
It's so funny seeing kids be forced into those kind of costumes. No. You're Nikolai Tesla.
I mean,
come on. Let me be a Ninja Turtle.
I do think
Paul Revere was an important figure in American history.
I do. Some schools will do like historical, right? Yeah.
Yep, I was a Three Musketeer.
Yeah.
1 year. Yeah. Gotta find that.
But
You're John Wayne. What? The airport?
just let the kids pick the costume. It's Halloween is a candy costume holiday for children.
I don't want to be John Wayne. I want to be John Wick. All right, let's do a couple emails and comments here. Mel posed this in the Facebook group. It wouldn't be Halloween without. And this is from Robin. Getting pumpkins early in the season.
Yep.
Having them sit on the porch as decorations with intentions to carve them the week of Halloween, but then the frost/freeze gets them.
Yes.
Nebraska being what it is, the weather gets hot again and they get mushy and you can't carve them.
Yep, the pumpkin turns. Yep.
Sarah Snyder, it wouldn't be Halloween without a toddler meltdown.
Yeah.
I've had, we had several years in a row where one of us took the toddler home around, 8?
Yeah.
7?
Oh, yeah.
Claire fell asleep on a tricycle.
Oh, yeah, the tricycle.
We had that tricycle that they felt like they were driving, but like you could steer them.
Yeah.
And she fell asleep on it, which is nearly impossible to do.
No, toddler will find a way.
And then you had to carry her home. Yeah.
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 Dead toddler weight, which is a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Bonnie, it wouldn't be Halloween without churches planning an event the night of Halloween and calling it a harvest festival.
That's
classic.
Right.
Those are all around here.
A lot of those. Yep.
We also got some, let's do some emails here. These are great. You guys can always shoot emails that don't make me come back there at gmail.com. This is from Tucker, who is a patron. Him and Avril. You know what's so funny is
You saw Avril this weekend.
Avril's a great fan.
Yeah.
And has been for a long time. And then her and her husband and some friends were backstage and she's like, you always say my name right. And I'm always grateful for that. And now I'm like, I don't know how to say your name now.
She jinxed it.
She jinxed it.
Oh, no.
Because I was like, well, how do people mess it up? Do they say like Advil? She's like, yeah, Advil's a classic one. Anvil. And now I said so many things that I don't remember how to say it. But we are Pokemon Go friends.
Yeah, our son plays Pokemon
I think
Go
she plays too.
Yeah.
So this is from Tucker. Every year, my wife Every year, my wife and the neighborhood crew take all the kids out trick-or-treating, and I selflessly volunteer to stay home and hand out candy. I know, I'm a hero. As soon as they leave, I turn off all the lights like I'm hiding from zombies and enjoy some peace while devouring a huge bowl of candy. When they get back, I act like we had a ton of trick-or-treaters, but my belly tells a different story. Well, I hope your wife doesn't listen to this podcast, Tucker.
Yeah.
So funny.
News is out. I do think that the stay home and hand out candy parent, whether you hand it out or not, is so much easier.
Oh, I mean, 100%.
Because when they're little, it's like, let's put the little kids in the dark.
Yeah.
On the streets.
Yes.
And it's very stressful.
Oh.
Depending on the streets you're on.
Yeah.
And then cars are coming by and you're like, stop.
Yeah, you would.
There's always a couple close calls.
It would be. A couple of years ago, we were, this is true story, we were walking around, there were some cars, and then I looked and I was like, those are coyotes in the street.
Yeah, we saw coyotes.
Everyone's out and about.
What's going on, guys?
Yeah. I mean, Halloween is Christmas for coyotes. You know, this is our biggest day. Candy, gifts everywhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, here we go. Subject, fundamentalist Halloween.
Okay.
This is from Rebecca.
Of course.
Yes.
Yes, that's a good biblical name.
My father was a Baptist pastor. And yes, I've been in therapy for years. I took a position at a new church when I was 7. We moved to the new area in late October, and we were just in time for the church-sponsored Harvest Festival. Mm-hmm. We were dirt poor, and I was thrilled to pieces at the costume my mom put together for me: a cowgirl with boots, a fringe vest.
Yeah, vest really pulls an outfit together.
And even toy pistols. It took our family about 30 seconds to realize that this church was a bit more conservative than we were used to. Everyone was dressed up as
Bible characters.
A character from the Bible. There were cowboys in the Bible, right? I stuck out like a Kiss fan at a Michael W. Smith concert. Great line. That's a great line. That is a very funny line, Rebecca. My little sister was a bunny, and my parents played it off like she was a bunny from the Ark.
Yeah. Yeah, she was.
While they whisked away my hat and pistols. Clearly, I still haven't recovered. Rebecca from Lakewood, who still goes to church but always checks the dress code. Great email. Great story, Rebecca.
Oh, man.
That is so funny. Bunny from the Ark is such a funny recovery.
That's good.
Where's the other one? Well, you also had coyotes on there.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, you know how David was a shepherd?
Yeah. Oh, that could have been a maybe recovery.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't work. The fringe vest had to go.
Totally unrelated. I was checking these emails. I just got a text from a comic. I'll just say a comic that I've toured with before. Your boy Mark Driscoll is wildin' with this election stuff. That's all you guys get. That's all you guys get from this. This is from Daryl.
Oh,
and, yeah.
Patron.
And this the subject. It wouldn't be Halloween without. I wanted to make it funny, but Halloween is serious talk for me. So Daryl wrote this. It won't be Halloween without many of my fellow Aussies saying, Halloween is an American thing. We don't do Halloween in Australia, despite it becoming the fastest growing non-secular celebration in our country. For the record, I'm an early adopter and have been handing out treats since I bought my home in 1999. It has really taken off big time here in the last 10 years or so. Now, excuse me while I hang my fake skeleton on the front door and dig out the fake blood. Honestly, officer, they are definitely fake. Coughs and serial killer. It is funny how you're like, oh yeah. I mean, that's such an American thing to say. You're like, what do you mean you don't celebrate our holidays?
Yeah.
We got all the best ones.
I mean, I used to live in Japan as a kid, and they would still put up, like the malls and stuff, put up Christmas trees.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big one.
They kind of like, you know, they enjoyed the decor of it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you get to celebrate mundane costume day or mundane Halloween in Japan? Do you know?
I don't know what this is.
Well,
you don't know about this holiday?
So I lived on a base, an Air Force base, and some Okinawans would come on the base in a costume to participate in Halloween. And they were all ghosts. They would just get a sheet.
Mundane
and be
Halloween
a
costume.
Ghost. Yeah.
There's this like new, I don't know how recent it is, but they started like so they basically have a whole day dedicated to dressing up as just mundane
Americans?
normal things.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And so like people on it'll be like a flight attendant having a bad day.
Oh, this is great. I love this. Oh.
Now, is this related to Halloween, or is this a
It's like
separate day?
It's a new like Japanese like tradition kind of Halloween day they do, but they do it as like just mundane.
Incredible.
Mundane.
Like mundane Halloween.
This is
in
great.
Japan.
Talk about a social media holiday, though.
He just got back for this week. Oh, it's like above.
That's great.
Feel free to Google mundane Halloween.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. So this is you sent out asking about Halloween memories. This is from Christopher, who's a patron. My Halloween memory is my parents didn't let us go trick or treating and ruined the holiday for my entire childhood. They claim I was allowed to go until I was 4 or 5, which of course I can't remember or verify.
That.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every Halloween we do some alternate activity crap, go to the movies, etc. We wouldn't hand out candy, nothing. We were allowed to wear costumes to school. We could eat candy at other times of the year, etc. Which made it all the more infuriating. The worst part is they've never given a straight answer why they did this. It has alternated between the razor blades and the candy myth. Classic.
Yep.
To not feeling like it was a good idea, to not living near other kids in a neighborhood where it might make sense, all of which fell apart under even the slightest scrutiny, and it's infuriating. So, of course, my brother and I wildly overcompensate for our kids, and then went trick-or-treating, and we hand out candy with glee. But you know those times your parents do something and you years later realize it was for the best? This isn't one of those times. Sorry, very, 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 very bitter about it, Chris. Understandable, Chris.
Oh, man,
I get
Chris.
it. I'm on your side, Chris.
Oof.
All right, let's do 2 more emails. Maybe 2, maybe 3, we'll see. Subject Halloween story. This is from Daniel. Hey guys, I grew up in a very conservative Christian pastor's home, so we didn't celebrate Halloween, but wanted to share my wife Tracy's favorite Halloween story. One year, her mother decided to go to a Tupperware party on Halloween.
Oh, wow.
There were probably some vests there.
A lot of vests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So her
Halloween vests.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. David S. Pumpkins. So her dad had to take her trick-or-treating. This doesn't sound like much, but he's the kind of old-school man that wasn't very involved with his kids and still gets his food brought to him on a tray while he sits in his recliner. To set the scene, it was the 1990s in rural South Carolina, and they had a blue station wagon. Her dad goes and picks up his best friend and his son to make the evening more, quote, enjoyable. The dads proceed to get wasted while driving their kids around town. Not only that, he went to neighborhoods where they didn't know anyone instead of going to friends and families' homes like she was used to doing with her mom. That marked the first and last time he was asked to take her truck-or-treating. My wife likes to say that she has a treasure troll. My wife likes to say that she was a treasure troll. The little boy was a Walker, Texas Ranger, and the dads were dressed as 2 drunk rednecks. Happy Halloween, a.k.a. Church Fall Festival season, from Daniel and Tracy. Very funny.
Oh, man.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. So many. Okay, let's do 1, maybe 2 more. I think... So there's a quick one from Joy. Halloween memory. One year in the 70s, I went as a scarecrow. I wore pantyhose over my face. Had a bad cold.
Wow.
It was not a good look.
You're like sneezing through sheer.
I mean, that is part of it.
Runny nose. Just
when you have a bad mask
I probably shared this before, but I almost missed Halloween one year for chicken pox. And I either did miss
you went
it
with chicken pox. You're like,
or I was like,
I'm Annie Ann.
I was like down to the second. Like,
That's
okay,
great.
can you walk? Yeah. Which as a child, I mean, 1, get chickenpox, 2, miss Halloween.
Brutal.
Terrible.
I'm trying to think if I missed any Halloweens, but I don't think I did. I don't think I was just,
I think I got it, and then my twin sisters got it. So my poor parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, those old masks were just like with like the rubber band right behind them. And I remember a lot of listening to your breathing in your mask.
We can't see anything. Yeah. Okay. Kelly S. I grew up in the 90s attending Hallelujah parties
That's
in
classic.
the field next to our church. They had bonfires, music, chili cook-offs, hayrides, costume contests, sometimes animals, and a huge bag of candy. I love those parties and looked forward to them every year. However, I completely missed out on trick-or-treating until I became a parent. My favorite Hallelujah party was the year I won the first place prize of $5.
Ooh.
I went as a Kleenex box.
You have to tithe 10% of it, though.
I made it myself out of a grocery box from Aldi, sponge painted it, and added some tissue paper. I added the picture below. Kelly S., you killed it.
That's a great costume.
It's literally perfect. And
Yeah.
I hope you really spent those $5 wisely. Yeah. I'm looking at the decor behind your...
Yeah.
We had those chairs.
I've seen.
Yeah.
I remember seeing those chairs in your house.
She killed it.
It's a very 80s Christian home right there.
They got the cross. Those hanging...
The picture with the candle in the Bible.
country. This is a country theme,
This
Dustin.
is great.
The little 2 hearts hanging. Do you see
Yeah.
those? Yeah, those. It's nice. Her shoes
Good
are
stuff.
awesome. She had Nikes. Whew. All right, Michael. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna
I think it's our
summarize
last one,
here.
right? Yeah.
The first one, black and white, is Buster. This is a Chihuahua. So we got Buster here. For Halloween or any other time he needed to calm down, we would put a costume on him and he immediately froze like he was in a freezer. It's his calm down jacket. The second picture is our current dog, Leia, who loves his family more than the world. But when we would put a costume on him, although she may not like it, she tolerates it and goes about her dog life. So as I said before, dogs are like children. Some like costumes and some do not. Yeah, that dog looks so irritated. He is so mad right now.
It's hard to make a dog look unhappy, but you accomplished it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for all the emails and everything, everybody.
Yeah. It's been fun.
This has been fun. Happy All Hallows Eve, Reformation Day, Harvest Festival, whatever you do.
Great pumpkin.
Be safe.
Charlie Brown.
Happy Great Pumpkin Day.
Have fun. Eat some candy.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, everybody. Want to give a special shout out to our As Essential as Oils patrons. That's our $25 a month and up patrons. Thanks so much for giving to the pod and getting a little more of the pod. That's Adam Bush,
Averill Griffiths.
Aubrey Antis,
Allison Nelson.
Andy and Darlene Gerton,
Avery Starr.
Bonnie Galindo,
Carrie Teague.
Christopher and Bridget Finland,
Code to Grow.
Courtney Eibling,
Damaris Diaz-Stevens.
Daniel Owens,
Dave and Melissa Cox.
Dave Hoagland.
Dustin Daly.
Oh, that's my name. Well, the first part of it is. Jason and Francis Whites,
Jen Thurk.
Jessica Hanrahan,
Jonathan Rivera.
Joshua and Nikki Platt,
Jordan Cowan.
Juliana Smith,
Lori Amos.
Lauren Rachel,
Matt and Sam Slosdom.
Michelle Carlson, Go Mariners,
Nicole Carose.
Rachel Wilson,
Rachel Kennedy.
Robert and Nellie Capin,
Scott Elliott.
Stephen Menya,
And
Tiffany
Tiffany Payne.
Payne.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.